Yes, the matches are coming at you thick and fast in the Cricket World Cup, and the new match that we have to look forward to, match number 27, coming to you from Headingley. It is the hosts England, big hitting England, taking on Sri Lanka, who desperately need a win in this World Cup. Thank you so much for joining us on ESPN Cricinfo Match Day, as we're joined by Graeme Swann and Tillakaratne Dilshan to talk all things England and Sri Lanka. Graeme, first question to you. Before those three games between, of course, New Zealand, India and Australia, you suppose England, they just need to maintain momentum now before those big three come up?
Sri Lanka are not a team to keep momentum going against. They're a team to take very seriously. England's record against Sri Lanka at all World Cups, mainly thanks to that man Dilshan, is not great. Headingley is a ground that Sri Lanka have enjoyed some great success against England. But this England team, very different to previous ones. They're in great form with the bat. Headingley is a very good batting wicket. It's a smallish ground. I expect England to carry on in the same vein with the bat and to really try and dominate every game they play. So you can't just say that we've got three big games coming up and Sri Lanka. I believe they've got four big games coming up.
Point noted, Graeme. A question for you now. Dilshan, of course, you've got 4 games remaining in this World Cup. You suppose Sri Lanka has now reached a stage where it's a do-or-die kind of situation where you need to go out and start winning your games?
Yeah, I think it's definitely against England. We have to win. The thing is, we want to go to the qualifier to top 4. Thing is, we can't wait now. Then we almost lost few games. Now 4 games we have. I think definitely we have to beat England and go forward in the big game coming up. I think it's everyone know this important game. Definitely, I think it's all team members. Everyone, I think, are looking forward to against England match.
So, Graeme, when you're talking Sri Lanka, are you making any changes to that 11 versus that played the last game versus Afghanistan?
No, I'm not changing anything. I was delighted to see Moeen Ali back in the team. Obviously, being a finger spinner, I want the 2 spinners to be playing. I think James Vince keeps his place. I don't really think you can change that team from the last game. Obviously, if Jason Roy is fit and fully fit and ready to go, he has to come back in. You have to have that opening partnership of Bairstow, Roy, fit and firing if you're going to go on and be the team that they have been for the last 2 years.
Now, of course, England's form with the bat has been phenomenal in this World Cup. We'll show you a couple of numbers now and how they've really just taken ODI cricket by storm with their big hitting. And this is batting first in ODIs in 2019. 418 versus the West Indies, 373 versus Pakistan, 351 versus Pakistan in that series, 311 in the World Cup versus South Africa, 386 Bangladesh, 397 versus Afghanistan. Graeme, we were talking to a lot of the guys here in the studio as well. You reckon in that aspect, the way England approach their batting, they are unique right now in world cricket. And if anything, the other teams need to play catch up in 50 overs.
Well, I think they are, and it's a strange position because the England teams I played in were so far behind other teams in the world, teams like Sri Lanka, teams like New Zealand, Australia and South Africa. But since the last World Cup, they completely ripped up the form book, ripped up their type of playing cricket, and they have this new ultra-aggressive method of playing. I mean, those scores were impressive in the last year. If you look at the year before, there's 5 scores above 400. So it's not a recent thing. It's been happening for a couple of years, and don't expect them to go easy at any point. They believe that any score is possible. They truly believe that 500 is on the cards at some point. I'm sat here at Trent Bridge at the moment where Australia are playing against Bangladesh. And trust me, on this wicket at Trent Bridge at some point in the future, there will be a 500 scored.
Of course, everyone talking about Jofra Archer, but what about Mark Wood? He is catching form, he's catching rhythm. And how do you suppose Eoin Morgan uses him? The way he uses him doesn't start to open with him, starts with Chris Woakes and Jofra Archer, then gives Archer a break and brings on Mark Wood with more pace.
I think it's a good idea. It's relentless pace. So normally, if you play against a team with a couple of quick bowlers like the Aussies, you face them both at the start, and then as soon as they're out of their first spell, it's a bit of a relief for the batsman. That doesn't happen. You see there 9 innings and 18 wickets in 2019. So Mark Wood is in form. He's bowling fast. This is the World Cup, 9 wickets in 4 matches, great average, brilliant economy rate. So he's in form. But as is Jofra Archer. I mean, Jofra Archer has been sensational. 12 wickets in 5 games. Look at that average, 18, and going less than 5 and over as well. So the reason England are such a strong team, especially since Jofra Archer comes in, is it gives them that balance. They've now got a real strike bowler to go along with their decent seamers and their good spinners.
Dilshan, let's talk Sri Lanka with you now. Firstly, you're playing 11. Are you making any changes from their last match?
Yeah, I think it's. I try to change one change for Tillakaratne to Vandasi. Thing is, we miss definitely spin bowling in the middle. We saw last game Dhananjay, a part-time bowler, did really well against Aussie. We miss definitely spinner in the middle. I think is Isuru and Thisara is both same. I think Isuru doing well at the moment. Is doing bowling and batting. All is doing well. Thisara a little bit not great form in the bowling. I think we might be change one change. We need definitely the spinner in the handle in the middle.
Dilshan, we'll just show you a couple of numbers now because really contrasting numbers, the two teams that are taking on each other. England, as far as their middle orders is concerned, they are right on top. Their middle order is doing really well. But then Sri Lanka's middle order in ODI since 2016. Here they are, Sri Lankan batsmen in different batting positions. Angelo Matthews 4. Thirimanne 5, Kusal Perera 6. So clearly that tells you there is, consistency is not there. We've asked you this question so many times. You've given us the same answer so many times. Is there something different that you can add to this?
I think it's no. Everyone knows if you're not doing in their position, they try to move different places. That's not the right decision you're taking as a batting unit. But they should stick to their plan, their position. We saw last game also, not last game, throughout the last 6 months, throughout this tournament, where the openers are taking the great start. Again, last match they had one of the great start in the tournament, but again middle order failure. But now we can't wait. Thing is now few games to go. This middle order have to click. However they past experience they should bring to these couple of matches upcoming. They have to play best cricket out of their. I know everyone is out of form the middle order, but they have to take this opportunity and play their best cricket. Thing is, top order, luckily they are doing really well. Two openers doing really well last few games. I think that's last match positive we can take. That's all the positives carry for against England. If we play our brand of cricket, I think is they have to play. They have to forget about what's the opposition we are playing. They have to play their cricket. If they are played their cricket, might be good. We can go a little bit head for the against England game.
Word on the team's bowling, Dilshan, and a couple of numbers again. We'll show you the stats telling you that the dependency on, the one and only Lasith Malinga is still there. Experienced Sri Lankan players in this bowling lineup, especially Angelo Matthews. You've got Malinga, there's Thisara Perera, and there's Thirimanne. Would you expect more from the likes of Matthews, Thirimanne, and Perera now going forward in this tournament?
You're talking about bowling, right?
Yes, bowling.
Yeah, the thing is, unfortunately, Angelo's injuries, he can't bowl. But Thisara also not doing well. But that's why I think we miss. I think it's totally. I'm not agree with this 15 member squad. We didn't bring proper spinner. The thing is, Dhananjay, the part-time bowler, is now #1 spinner in the side. We miss. The selection is we didn't have a comfort to the fix to the spin attack. Normally we past 10 years we have a good spin in the side. In the middle definitely dominating the spinners, but unfortunately this time we don't have a spinner in the side, but only one spinner this tournament, the Vandisi. He definitely should play and try to put the pressure in the middle. Thing is, fast bowlers not doing well. Sometimes a flat wicket, nothing happened in the fast bowlers after new ball is getting old. I think that's area I think we missed. We didn't have a spinner. I think it's definitely next game definitely we should play Vandisi and try to handle in the middle. I think for Tillakaratne also, I think he doesn't have that luxury in the bowling attack, but we have a good fast bowlers, but we don't have a spinners. I think I think Dimut definitely miss as a captain.
Graeme, final question for you. How are you calling this one?
Well, I've got to go England as favourites because they're in home conditions and they're playing such good cricket. But as I said before, England will not take Sri Lanka lightly. We've got an awful record against Sri Lanka. A lot to do with that man Dilshan, who always got 100 against us, it seemed. So it's time we got our own back. It's time England won and go all the way and win this World Cup.
Dilshan, what about you? How do you call this game versus England?
I think it's everyone knows one of the favorite side, and they are the England side is they are doing really well. All three department. Take the batting, they very good. They are past all the matches is 300 plus runs. The thing is they are top order, middle order, and low order. They are batting really same. They are bowling, fielding. They are in the right top of this tournament. But we have to come 100% positive tomorrow. We start against Aussie. I think if we played positive movement and fix in the middle batting unit in the middle, they should take the responsibility definitely against England. If we played our brand of cricket, I am talking about every time, if we can keep it hope against England side.
Tillakaratne, Dilshan, Graeme, Swann, thank you so much for joining us on ESPN Cricinfo Match Day as we were building up to England taking on Sri Lanka.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and leave your comments in the comment section below. Click on the bell icon for notifications.